just know that you got to keep it in check and back up a couple of feet, or email Justin, email myself, and we can help set you straight, right?
Yeah, for sure, man. I mean, it's hard to keep track. There's so many stories that come out now all over the world with all this access to media. It's incredible, really. Jesse, look, your forefront, your docket is ufology, exopolitics, new science, the paranormal. You talk about it at the beginning of every program, what your agenda is on UFOnaut Radio. We spoke about a lot of the stuff that you think about and ponder, but we all have our own relative truths. I've spoke about my truth on this program before. What is your truth? What have you discovered from all this? What do you feel is going on? What's your insight?
Yeah, it's one of those questions, and I have a quick answer for it, I think. But it is one of the questions that you get at the dinner party. So what's the scoop? What's the skinny, right?
Yeah.
What's the deal with the UFOs?
What's your perspective?
Really know?
That's all.
And I guess I have to agree with, again, I will revert back to people like Stan, who I agree with, and some other people that try to keep it pretty simple, because there's more that I don't know than that I do, obviously, or that I believe.
Yeah.
Let's keep in mind that ufology, after a while, becomes somewhat like a religion. I think I spoke to Dolan about that once. And, at the end of the day, I believe the following. I think I've learned the following in over, 20 years of researching this, is that, number one, and this is just my beliefs, Justin.
Yep.
From my travels, our government definitely has in their possession crashed debris from extraterrestrial crafts that have come down here, whether it's by our hands or by accident. I believe that they definitely have bodies, and they have had bodies and probably still do, or definitely still do. I believe that they know a lot less than people think. I think it's one of these, look, the government can't run a regular program that's known about, that's transparent.
Yeah.
The black world is probably a mess. Okay, so I believe that the people who are working on these things are probably usually incorrect, the wrong people, which is one of the problems. I believe that one of the reasons, the main reason that we don't know about these things is the social reason, and that's obvious. If you don't know what I'm talking about, whoever's listening, think about the religious, the other political implications, power structure issues associated with any sort of official disclosure of what I just mentioned. Stephen Greer's great at that. A lot of people have issues with his ego and some of his other shit. It doesn't matter. He does a great job of explaining socially why this is not something they can do.
Yeah.
The other thing that I think I feel very confident about saying is that the U.S. government is not ever going to admit, and no other government, that they have absolutely zero control over their own airspace.
Yeah.
They have no idea how to control this or really what's going on. They don't have a full picture. They don't have a full spectrum. So I think if you put those items together where they sort of have these artifacts, I think that the astronauts have definitely run into things along the way and that we haven't been told about. I think the Brookings report, even though people say it was taken out of context, I think people paid a lot of attention in government to what they were saying about how people would react if this was told to the people.
Yeah.
And so at that point, I think that's about where I try to say that's about what I know. And that's enough for me to say that's a lot, right?
Yeah. Not for me, but for the general populace. I just
the
want...
regular Joe. Yeah, Joe Six-Pack, it's a lot.
Yeah. I want more. I always want more, though.
Well, what we'd like is, like you said, the whole ball of wax. You'd love those questions people ask. Why don't they land at the mall parking lot? That's a pretty easy one. Why don't we have these answers? Well, we don't, but we have a lot of proof about the answers that we don't have, and the fact that we should be allowed to have.
Yep.
And that just the fact that you can't get a politician, except you brought up Paul Hellyer, unless you're joking around. You can get a politician joking around, but you can't get a politician to go near this topic. There's a reason, okay? Yeah. They are afraid to go near this topic. Get Spielberg to talk about UFOs on the record, afraid to do it. Yeah. These guys just don't want to do it. They don't want to go near it. in the reality form. What does that mean? Does that mean my life's in danger? I'm still here. What's the problem? What are you afraid of?
Yeah.
If there's no proof to it, why don't you let these guys have a real hearing? Right? They won't do it.
I hear you.
Is that enough right there to show people, even in a circumstantial fashion, that there's a lot there that obviously people don't want it being talked about in an official form on the record? Absolutely. And guys like Stanton will be sitting there saying, I'll debate anybody till my dying breath, but who's taken him up on it recently? Nobody.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Yeah, exactly. Well, you know what? It's a crazy, twisted world, and there's a lot of crazy stuff happening behind the scenes. I'm a proponent of a complete alternate existence or reality happening at the same time that we're living this little game of rats in a cage chasing the cheese. And I'm right in your boxcar, like I said earlier. I'm right on par with you. I hope, Jesse, that I've maintained the Canadian positive image that you believe in from us in this interview. And we're going to wrap it up because I don't want to take up any more of your time. You've been graceful and enough to come on and give us your time. Mr. Jesse Randolph, thank you very much. Sunday nights, 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Tune in to UFOnaut Radio. You can go to jesserandolph.com to click on his link there. Check out his show, the press releases, videos, UFOnaut TV. It's all there. Support the New Guard. Support Jessie, because it is a brave new world, in my opinion, and a lot of people won't say the same thing. But you know what? Generations come and generations go, and the New Guard is on the rise, and the generations that come after, it's only going to be easier as long as we keep fighting. Thanks for coming on, man.
Thanks for having me, Justin. You're a great host, and everyone in Canada, I'm a big fan.
Mr. Jesse Randolph, talking to us all the way from Phoenix, Arizona. What a guy, hey? What a great person to talk to in the field of ufology, the leader of the New Guard. Please go check him out, ufonautradio.com. jesserandolph.com also works. That'll link you right to his site, and you can listen to all the programs. And you can also download his podcast at iTunes if you do a search for the official home of UFOnaut Radio, and you can download all the new episodes from KPAM860. What a guy, Mr. Jesse Randolph. Thanks for tuning in. It's been a fantastic night. Lots of news and a great guest, probably one of the greatest. And thanks for coming here. You know where to find us in 2 weeks' time. Stay tuned tomorrow night for the Blogtalk show. 30 minutes recap if you missed this one. And anybody else, you can tell your friends. Check us out on Facebook, YouTube, MySpace, Twitter. Become a friend. And remember, you can subscribe to iTunes, the Blogtalk, and the CKDU shows for free. Subscriptions are free. So go ahead and do that. Subscribe on Twitter as well, YouTube, and get all the goods. Thank you very much for joining us. Keep your eyes on the sky, and you may just be surprised. It may expand you into the infinite or shrink you down to size. I'm Mr. Justin Brown, and thanks for joining us. See you in a couple weeks.
Unified Field Radio.